Hello, beautiful souls. My name is Aura. And first of all, I would like to thank you so much for your commitment of self-healing, self-development, and of integrating your highest expression within your physical body and your everyday life. In this video, I would like to go through the structure of a session and through what it is that you need to do in order to prepare for a session. First of all, depending on the type of the session that you wish to have, it can be either 4 hours long, and that would be a standard origins integration session, or it could be 2 hours long, which would be a mini origins integration session. Or you could have a renewal alchemy session, which is only 1 hour long, and it could stretch up to 1.5 hours, depending on whether you need more time to finish off and fully integrate everything that needs to be integrated in that moment. I personally take about 1 hour before each session in order to prepare. And I'm asking each and every client to send me their list of questions and their intention for the session 24 hours before we start the session. On my website, you can find the terms and the cancellation and rescheduling policies, which every client has to be able to agree with before we can have the session. If you need to cancel or reschedule your appointment, you can do so latest 24 hours before the session is supposed to take place. For, let's say, if a session is 4 hours long, I usually block 7 hours out of my day for the specific session, because after the session, I am working on the recording, I'm editing the sound to make sure that you can hear yourself as best as possible, and then I am sending you the session so that you may work with it for as long as you need to. And if at any time you have any type of questions, I'm here to assist you. I usually allow each and every client to prepare for 2 weeks before the session in order to have the best experience possible. And I am including a preparation document, which is not only in preparation for the session, but to assist you beyond the session and throughout your life. This document contains exercises, meditations. It contains different types of tools to support you on your journey and to which you can always come back to whenever you need it. The session itself is structured out of 3 parts. The first part being an interview, and depending on the length of the session, in this interview, we are going through your questions. I'm learning more about you. I am explaining to you more in depth how the entire process is going to unfold. And then we dive right into the second part of the session, which is the consciousness exploration. It is the part where you get to give a voice to your body, your soul, your intuition, and have them tell you what it is that they need from you in order to change your life or expand your current state of being. And then at the end, I bring you back. We make sure that you are fully grounded back into this reality and answer whatever questions you may have regarding your journey. Now, what are these sessions? These sessions can be called many things, and they are many things because they are exactly what each and every individual needs at the moment that the session is taking place. These sessions are a past life regression, a spiritual journey, a quantum healing journey, a consciousness exploration, energy healing, DNA activations. You may visit and explore past lives, other aspects of yourselves, galactic aspects of yourself. You simply get to relax and to connect with your subconscious mind, which is going to tell you whatever it is that it needs from you in order to heal and recalibrate, to solve and resolve whatever issues it is that you are having, and to access your innate healing abilities. Now, what is it that you need to do in order to prepare for such a session? It's not necessarily much that you need to do other than to trust yourself and trust the process. I have had a client, and I've posted this session on my channel, that has never heard about this before, was not into spirituality, nor religion, nor anything other than the current reality, is a scientist and a very logical person. And they wanted to have a session just because they were curious. I told them that they needed to prepare. They said that they don't have time, and I knew that they didn't have time. And so we dove right into it with no preparation. The client had only one question to ask, and the session was beyond anybody's imagination, beyond anybody's expectations, which is something that we are going to talk about very soon. The client was opening their eyes all the time, being able to perceive with the conscious mind, which is present during the session, right? You are not going to fall asleep. So the conscious mind is present during the session, and the client was not able to grasp with their conscious mind what their subconscious mind was telling them. And so they would open their eyes in disbelief all the time. And I would guide them back into the session. I would reassure them that everything is okay. And at the end of the session, they could not believe all the stuff that came out of their mouth. They could not believe all the information that came through, and they immediately jumped in front of a computer to Google everything to make sure that they're not going crazy. And they actually found the crazy information on the internet, things that they have never, ever heard about, never dreamt about, had already been documented by others. So what can we get out of this? First of all, no preparation is needed. If you trust yourself, trust the process, trust the practitioner, and simply let go. Let your imagination run wild and free. Why the imagination? Because your imagination is the voice of your subconscious mind. It is the voice of your intuition, the voice of your true essence and higher self, and of all that you are. And it holds the information of all that is, all that has ever been, and all that will ever be. And that is what we're accessing. It is from there that artists are creating their art. It is from there that Da Vinci brought us airplanes 600 years ago, and Tesla brought us free energy. Without the imagination, we would not have this. We would not have anything. I wouldn't be able to speak to you through the internet right now. I wouldn't be able to record this if someone would not have come up with this. So I need you to come up with whatever it is that comes to you. I'll be asking you the question, what is it that you feel? What's the first thing that comes up? And I need you to tell me the first thing that comes up. During the session, I need you to shut your mind and open your mouth. Tell me everything that you perceive, everything that you feel. And if you find yourself in a dark space and there's nothing there, what is nothingness? What is a dark space? If you think about it, it's the void. It's the void of all creation. The dark space can be the earth in which a seed is planted and from which the seed grows. When you are a fetus in your mom's womb, you are in a dark space, which creates life. So darkness, nothingness is a free canvas for life to sprout, for creativity and imagination to sprout. And imagination is creation. Whatever comes through from our intuition. And whatever comes through from our intuition, it's exactly what we need to know in that moment and exactly what we need to apply in our everyday life. On the other hand, when I had my first session back in 2017, I was a client and I had my first quantum healing hypnosis technique session, and I thought I was ready. I had a list of 27 questions. I had meditated for 6 years prior to that. So I was doing every day guided hypnosis, guided meditations. I thought that I was very well prepared. But in the moment that the session started, the induction was done, and the practitioner asked me, "Where are you? What's happening?" It was blank. Nothing happened. Then, with a lot of struggle, I managed to perceive a past life, which I had already perceived in one of my personal hypnosis that I had done alone at home. And that was basically the end of the session. I didn't get to answer any of my questions. That was it. I went home and I was so disappointed because I had watched other people's sessions on the internet and I was expecting to get exactly that. One thing to not have before starting a session or before engaging into a session is expectations. But even though nothing has happened in the session and my questions did not get answered, my entire life shifted 3 weeks after the session. I had quit my job. I met my husband. I moved. Everything happened in 3 weeks after that session. Even though I left that place disappointed, I thought, oh my God, I paid for nothing. The changes did happen later in my life. And even now, I'm still having sessions. I've just had another session. And every time I'm getting new information, I'm getting information which is specific to my current state of mind and being. And this is what will happen with absolutely everyone. And if you happen to fall asleep during a session, that is also okay, because your subconscious mind is always listening, even when your conscious mind is asleep. And it might just mean that all you needed was rest. Now, I've never had a client that slept through the entire session, but I did have clients who kept falling asleep during the session, and that is absolutely okay. And since we're talking about expectations, I would like to mention a few bad reasons for having a session. And that is, one more time, if you're having expectations for a session to be in a specific way, such as having a cosmic adventure, or I had a client who wanted to experience past lives, and the higher self just told her, we're not doing this. It's completely irrelevant to your life today. And so she did not get to experience that which she wanted to, even though she is also a colleague of mine and a practitioner and very well experienced within this work. Another bad reason to have a session is because someone else wants you to have a session. So if you have a friend or a family member that is pushing you to have a session, it is not a good idea to have one unless you really, 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 really want to have one. And the same goes for you wanting your friends and family members to have a session. I would love for my dad to have one, but I know that he's not ready. And so I would never even think about pushing him in this direction until he will come to me and ask for one, or ask me to refer him to one of my colleagues. But until then, this type of work is simply not for him. Now, when it comes to meditation, it is good to exercise to quiet your mind. And what does quieting your mind mean? It doesn't mean to completely shut off your thoughts. It actually means to dim down the worries of your everyday mind, dim down the noise of the outside world, so that you may begin to dive within yourself and listen to your body, to your subconscious mind, your soul, your gut feeling. And know that it is absolutely okay to have thoughts. It's absolutely okay to think about your bills, to think about your oven, to think about other worries. And just try to acknowledge these thoughts, because once you accept them, you can release them. Whatever you cannot accept, you create a resistance towards. But if you accept these thoughts, you can just release them. You can imagine putting them into a bubble and just gently blowing them away. And it's okay if other thoughts arise. Just put them in a bubble and gently blow them away. As you return to yourself within your body, concentrate on the heart space, concentrate on breathing, and feel the life force energy come into your body and move through your body and energize each and every cell in your body. And the more you do this, the more you become in tune and aligned with your body, with your heart space, with your subconscious mind, which holds the information of all that is. And this information is stored in each and every cell of your body. And so the more you direct your awareness inwards and towards yourself, your physical being, the physical cycle of breathing, the heartbeat, feeling the blood pumped through your veins, the more you become conscious of yourself and you neutralize within yourself. And that is a state of relaxation. If you think about it, you are in this state of relaxation and of hypnosis, right? When you are watching TV. For what is hypnosis? Hypnosis is a very relaxed body and a very focused mind. I have made a video on hypnosis, which I'll be linking in the description below. Or if you have the document, you will find the link in there. Hypnosis is simply a state in which we find ourselves several times throughout the day. It is very natural. Saying that you cannot meditate, it's like saying that you cannot breathe. And to me, meditation and hypnosis are exactly the same thing. We tend to think that hypnosis is a state in which someone can control you, you lose sense of who you are, what you are, your body, and someone else is taking over your mind. That only happens in movies, in cartoons, on stage, but it does not happen in a clinical sense and with what we are doing here. If anything, you will get empowered because you get to know who you are. You get to feel who you are. You feel your body. You feel your pulse. You feel your breath. You reconnect with your true essence. You become more connected and thus more in control, right? If that is your concern, of who you are and of your reality. And the more you know yourself and accept yourself, the less influence something from outside of you can have upon you. Hypnosis is a state in which you find yourself, again, when you are watching TV, when you are reading a book, right? Your body is very relaxed and your mind is very focused. When you are brushing your teeth, when you're taking a shower, when you're driving your car, because you are doing something that your body is so used to doing and knows how to do very well, as your mind takes off in different directions, exploring all kinds of possibilities, and sometimes even coming up with amazing ideas of how you can solve certain things in your everyday life. Or you can end up having an imaginary conversation with your boss, with a friend, with a dentist that you have not met yet. And this conversation can be very heated, or it can be a euphoric one. And your body is feeling the anxiety or the euphoria that is being triggered in your mind by that conversation. And the same happens with watching a movie or reading a book. And as your imaginary mind triggers these emotions, which are affecting your body, your physiology begins to change according to these emotions. And this is how we create illness in our body as well as health within our body. Because one of the most important things to remember is the fact that the subconscious mind cannot tell the difference between your imagination and reality. As you can see in this diagram, your subconscious mind regulates 90% of your beingness. It regulates your behavior, your intuition, your habits, creativity, emotions, your physical memories, your breathing, your digestion. So your entire body is being governed by the subconscious mind. And thus, it cannot tell the difference between what your conscious mind perceives to be the reality or imagination. To your subconscious mind, they are one and the same. It can be beneficial to trigger your imagination before having a session and to keep working with that. And a few ways to do that are by reading a book, listening to music, dancing, being creative in any way you feel that you can be creative. It can be through painting, writing, journaling, or even playing games. And a few imaginary games that we could do right now are, for instance, imagine that you are lying in your bed. If you want, you can close your eyes or not. But just imagine right now that you are lying in your bed. And at the side of your bed appears a horse. On which side of the bed is the horse? What does the horse look like? And pay attention to the first thing that comes to you. And that is the right answer. Is it a he or a she? How old is the horse? What is the horse's name? First thing that comes to you. And why did it come to you right now? Is there a message to be delivered to you? If so, what is that message? And I want you to go in detail about the horse, about the message, about their name, their age, and pay attention to the first thing that comes to you. And that is the right answer. We can do another exercise, which goes more or less the same way. But this time you are in your neighborhood and you're walking home. Look at all the details around you in your neighborhood, right here where you are. Perceive them in detail. Pay attention to every single stone, every single plant. Pay attention to the air, the smells in the air. Activate all your senses. And as you approach your home, pay attention to it. Perceive the walls, the texture of the wall, the paint. What is it made of? And then look at the door and grab the handle. What type of a handle is it? How do you open the door? How does the handle feel in your hand? And as you open it, what sound does it make? After you've opened the door, you look down and you see that there's a package on the floor for you. This package has your name on it. What does it look like? What shape does it have? How big is it? How much does it weigh? Is it heavy? Is it light? What color does it have? How is it packed? And who is it from? First thing that comes. And then I want you to open it and look inside. How is it packed? What do you find inside? Be as detailed as possible. And what is inside of it? What is it meant to do for you? How is it meant to assist you? What is it? This is just an example of how it works. It is absolutely okay if you think that this is stupid or if you think that this is not for you. But if you still want to have a session and you're curious about it, it simply means that you need to learn a bit more about what hypnosis is, what meditation is, how imagination affects our everyday reality. And I have a few videos on this on my YouTube channel titled Hypnosis and Why Doesn't It Work? I have another Q&A on hypnosis and beyond quantum healing. I have videos on what the higher self feels like. And I have sessions which you can watch in order to get a feeling of how this experience may unfold. Most of these links you can find either in the description below, or you can find them in the preparation documents. One thing to know for sure is that there is no such thing as not being deep enough. When you start watching a movie, there's nobody doing an induction for you. Before you brush your teeth and your mind starts wandering in all directions, you do not have someone providing you with an induction. Again, this is a natural process. You can do it with your eyes open. You are fully conscious. It is just a matter of accessing your inner voice, of accessing your gut feeling and letting that speak through you. Your higher self is not something that is outside of you. It is not something that is unreachable. It is called higher because it is you vibrating at a higher frequency. That's all that it is. It is you. So I do not expect or wish to talk to anybody else other than you during the session. I'm having a session with you and for you, and you are having this session for yourself. Also, it is highly important to have a clear intention of what it is you wish to achieve with this session. Because without a clear intention, we might be going in all directions, but none of them might actually be beneficial for your expansion. It might just be extra information that you're getting from yourself without having a clear understanding or direction as to what it is you need to do with it. And so the intention behind each and every session is key. And why is intention important? Because without intention, you don't do anything in your life. You don't go anywhere. You do not go to the store without having the intention to go to the store and get food, right? And in order to have this intention, you need to open the door, you need to pass through the door, and every single movement and action that we're doing in our everyday life is based on intentions. What is your intention? And so I need you to have a short, concise, and super clear intention to serve as the foundation of your session. Another key thing to understand is that you do not need to visualize in order to be able to have a session. A person that has been blind from birth is fully capable to have these sessions. I have had sessions with 9-year-olds. I have had sessions with all types of people from all walks of life. So you do not need to be able to visualize. You do not need to be able to be clairvoyant, clairaudient, clairsentient. And at the same time, I need you to know that you are all of these, because we all are multidimensional, empathic beings and fully capable of accessing all aspects of ourselves. It's just that we tend to make it so complicated. And if it's simple, we think that it's not working, or that it's weird, or that it's wrong, and it's not. All I need you to do is to trust the process, trust yourself, and simply let go. And so thank you so much. Thank you for doing this for yourself. And I bid you a most wonderful moment of the infinite now. And I cannot wait to work together with you. Take care. Bye.